Why do so many of you have 30 to 40-year-old brothers in the home that are unemployed, living on your parents' dime? All they do all day is play video games.
Turns out the secret ingredient is a terminal Tylenol addiction, tentatively tickling at their synaptic tendrils.
I'll say one other thing about Tylenol.
I'm Lord Edgington of Goonsberry, and this is the Autism tier list. Let's dive in and start some shenanigans. Now you may be thinking autism is a spectrum. Diagnoses like Asperger's have been consolidated into autism spectrum disorder. How do you plan to tier a spectrum? To which I would reply, number 1, nerd, you really knew all of that? Number 2, pour one out for losing Asperger's, the best named diagnosis ever. And 3, I think we've met an autistic person and an autistic person. So I'm going to attempt to classify the spectrum into stages, with the rigorous scientific process of making it the fuck up as I go, based off of generalizations that I have. So let's divvy up the stages. Starting with stage 1, the normie poser, or the Aspie aspirational. Think TikTok Tourette's phonies, or anyone faking a mental illness for attention. I'm including them on the tier list because the trend of parading around a neurodivergent, social media researched self-diagnosis should be added to the DSM. In my research at the Goonsberry Institute for Super Science, the only treatment we've found to work is repetitively slapping them until they admit that they aren't neurodivergent. They're neurodivergens that need a doctor's note to explain why their RIS levels are at such a low level that any attempt to flirt comes off as offering a Cosby cocktail on Weinstein's casting couch to any woman. The only other option is that they're a middle child in their family wanting the spotlight for once. But now that these dweebs are out of the way, let's discuss stage 2, aka Sergeant Social Stigma, or the Redditor. They're always the first to question the authenticity of an obvious skit in the comments. Socially stunted, often eccentric, few to no bitches, and eclectic interests. This is the stage we start to see some of the behaviors commonly associated with autism. Taking jokes literally, a need to correct information. I find this stage doesn't have as much of the hyperfixation you'll see at the later stages, but we'll get to that soon. Your odd friend or cousin fits here for the purpose of the tier list. It offers no major advantages, but also no debilitating debuffs. Their moms are occasional Tylenol takers. On to stage 3, also known as the Linux user, or niche neats. This is where the Tylenol starts to add some pros. While they may be more socially inept than the previous tiers, their hyperfixation often leads to specialization.
Oh, Opie, you're a pretty girl. Come here. Okay, you want some pets? Okay, now go lie down before Dad has to shock you like Hassan.
I'm just kidding, she's so pretty I could never shock her. Now Hassan's mutant freak though. Just kidding, I wouldn't do that. I'm sorry, where was I? Their hyperfixation often causes specialization. They're like any 8-year-old boys you might know. They focus on dinosaurs, trucks, trains. This specialization is where I feel I should mention the gender gap. No, not the base gender gap. The gap in male to female diagnosis. Currently, the ratio is 4 males to every 1 female are diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. However, due to masking and other barriers to female diagnosis, some experts place this ratio closer to 3 to 1. Now, I'd like to throw in my own consideration. Male to female trans autists shift the ratio closer to 2 to 1. Now I've confused my entire audience. Right-leaning people are mad that I counted trans women as women, while left-leaning people are mad that I called them autistic. So before anyone can solidify why they're mad or anything further, let's move on to stage 4, wizards. This stage takes the fixation to the next level. If they focus on fashion, they become Tim Gunn. If they focus on basketball, they become LeBron James. Nearly every software engineer is either stage 3 or stage 4. They can code print hello world with their eyes closed. And if they become an expert on having sex with strangers, they become your mom. But they also have the highest functioning level of autistic behaviors. Focus on repetitive behaviors or patterns. Fixation on goals or information. These are also known as RuneScape addiction. But they also have social anxiety mixed into this. Which brings us to our final stage, Stage 5, the profound. I'm not going to make any jokes on this section as it isn't funny. They aren't functioning humans in most cases. They require constant help and supervision. So before I depress you with the details, where do I tier each of these stages? In D tier, we have the normie poser, or stage 1. This is self-explanatory. It's filled entirely by the faking middle child losers. In C tier, we have the profound. People that can't take care of themselves, like Chris Chan or Elon Musk. In B tier, we have the Redditor. You, your friend Brian, anyone on Love on the Spectrum are the chaff that fill out this tier. Moving on to A tier, the Linux user. Dr. House, Emily Dickinson, the poet, and Donatello, the Ninja Turtle, are all people that don't have a singular specialization, but have started to specialize in one aspect of life or another. And finally, we have S tier, the Wizards, stage 4. This includes Michelangelo the artist, Leonardo da Vinci, and Raphael the Ninja Turtle, as well as Nikola Tesla and others. These are all people that have specialized in their given function. They are the best in their fields. And that concludes the autism tier list. If you've stuck around this long and you haven't already, please like and subscribe so I can grow this small channel. And that's all I have for you today. See you in the next one.